Hey friends, why are Belle and I sitting on a lounge deck? I don't know. Let's find out. Hey friends, welcome back to the Renewed Homestead. I'm Ben, and what do we have going on here? Well, as you've seen, we now have a milking cow, and we're getting used to her, she's getting used to us. Well, we're tying her to a tree while we milk, and it seems to be going okay, but we really need a milking stanchion. I don't know why they call it that. I haven't looked into why they call it that, but we need a milk stand. And I'll put in a picture of the one that the guy made that we got Dolly from. And seems like a good design. I've seen some others very similar to it. But the pile of wood that you'll see, I'll put a picture in it. It's the pile that I got yesterday. I spent a great deal of time pulling out nails because those were the rafters in the house when we were remodeling. 2x6, and it's old growth. These are really solid, heavy pieces of 2x6. Yeah, it's that time of year. Very, very slow growth. So these are really dense boards, which is exactly what we want if a cow is going to be standing on this. So I've already got these cut. There's 15 of them and put in. We've got just about 7 feet in length. They're 3 feet wide, and they're on 2x4 skids. I cut an angle on the bottom here so that we can move it, because like everything, we're not sure exactly where things are going to go. And we need to be able to move this thing. We're going to put it over there where the new barn will be, and we'll bring Dolly down and we'll milk her there. Okay, so we're building this milking stanchion so that Denise can more easily handle Dolly if I need to be away. And next week I've been asked to help out on a couple of jobs, a couple projects. So I'm going to be away, and this way, if we can get Dolly comfortable and Denise comfortable and she can handle her, because that is a big cow, I'm telling you what. Get her in here, we can give her treats, she can eat from that while she is milked. So on with the design. So we've got 7 feet long, 3 feet wide, and these are the old rafters from the house. I cut the uprights to 7.5 feet. Could have gone 8, could have gone 7. I really probably could have got away with 6, but by the time you stand on here, if I'm doing something or cleaning it, I don't want to knock my head. So I made it a little bit taller, but that also allowed me to have enough cutoff of these long pieces to do the cross pieces. And that'll make sense as we go along. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and attach the uprights, and we'll go from there. So, as I was saying, I spent about 3 hours pulling out drywall, nails, and just regular nails out of all these boards, got them all cleaned up. But something I wanted to mention here, since this is on skids, this 2x4s will go that way. I don't want the upright dragging on the ground. I don't want it sitting right on the ground because, it's just going to create extra drag. So, how am I going to get around that since I'm kind of doing this one-handed in a way? This is just a piece of 3/4 inch plywood, just a scrap. I'm going to put it there, and that will just give it that little bit of elevation. So when I get this thing screwed in there, there'll be support cross beams and all that, but one step at a time, right? All right, so let's do this. And hopefully you can see it from there. I'm going to toenail, what they call toenailing, and go in at an angle. And by going in at an angle, it provides extra strength. And this one we will go straight in. And we can repeat on the next ones too. Now, a trick that I learned recently, if you've got a board that wants to split, these, like I was saying, these are slow growth, so these are not likely to split. But put your screw in just a little ways. Make sure I'm lined up here. Little ways, and then if you reverse the drill and go backwards on it, when you see a little bit of smoke, it's supposed to keep it from cracking. And so far, that's proven true. Can be a little tricky, but yes, I know the front two are leaning in like that. It'll be corrected. And I can tell you here, I've already measured and got the crossbar cut across the back here. Which will hold it the same distance as the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and get my screws in this so I don't have to have 8 arms to try to put this thing on. So let's do that. And again, I'll toenail it so that it has that extra strength. Okay, so on the cross beam, 6 inches wide, so I marked it at 10 inches, so there'll be about 4 inches above, once this is adhered, once this is attached, and yeah. Why 10? I don't know. That's just what I picked. Some people have it really low to where you have to duck. I don't want to have to duck. If I'm up here after Dolly is out, amen from the rooster. After Dolly's out, if I'm cleaning this up, I don't want to worry about walking along and hitting myself in the head, because that's exactly what I would do probably on day 1, day 2, and maybe by day 3 I would learn. I don't want to do that, so I'm going to have it up taller than me. There. Now, step back and admire our work. If you hold your head this way, it looks straight. So next step, I'm going to cut the rails that go on the side. That will, keep it from wobbling back and forth, keep the cow where she belongs. Then we'll build a little stand here where she can eat, and kind of a headlock. Nothing that's going to choke her, obviously, but there'll be a headlock here and just a pivoting arm that'll lock her head in place. And get back here where we can milk, which is something we need to keep in mind. How high do we want that? And as we go, you'll see we'll put a couple of heavy-duty eye hooks. So if we needed to restrain a leg to keep her from kicking, we could. She's not tried to kick at us. I don't think it's an issue, but you always want to be aware, because that kick can happen and change things for you in a quick hurry. So if we're milking here, let's see. I'm going to have to refer back to my picture and see how high we want that crossbar. But I'm going to go ahead and measure that, get that cut, and that way it'll be ready to put on as soon as we determine how high we want that. So I'll be right back. All right, so let's cut those cross beams real quick. You stay in the shade. It's hot. Yes, very hot. Don't mind my mess. It's just how it is. Not sure if you can see this real well, but like I said, these are rafters from the house. And, so there's been some nailing done in there and they're chewed up. So I'm going to cut that off and start with a clean edge. But I want to show you something else while we're right here. I'm telling you, these are heavy. You might recognize the angle for a rafter, but you might not recognize. Can you see that? Instead of a saw, they used a hatchet and chopped that angle in there. You can still see the hatchet marks. Does that crazy? Hey, do what you got to do, right? It worked. Held up for 60, 80 years, whatever it was than when they originally put these rafters in. Well, welcome back to day 2. Well, technically day 3. Day 1 was getting all the nails out of all these pieces. But to catch you up to speed, got the side rails on, and I measured up 36 inches. Figured that any plans that I've seen don't tell you how high to put this side bar. One set of plans has one on this side, another one up high. But the folks that we got Dolly from only had the one side, but I didn't have measurements. So I went 36 inches from the base up to here. I figure that will give me room to get my head there without slamming it every single time I'm working on her. And in addition to that, I got the cross support bar across there, support bar across here, and the one at the bottom. The one at the bottom is where I will build some kind of like little tray or something for Dolly to, or whoever we're milking. We can put some feed down in there, some sweet feed, whatever, treats to keep her occupied, you know. And then from here, we'll actually have two 2x6s that will close on either side of her head. Obviously not tight, no, but they will pivot from this board, and then we'll be able to put a pin in and lock them in place so she can't move around. All right, well, it's a couple days later. You know, that's how it goes out here. Belle and I are back at it. So one of the plans I saw said that this part where we're going to have a little feeding tray or whatever to keep, what's her name? Dolly, keep her occupied while we milk her. It said that the height of it should be 15 inches. So measured 15 and put it on there. That just seems really low to me. So I'm going to go out and measure my cow. Make sure I get a good idea because, you know, when these arms close, we want to make sure that it's not, you know, because they're going to kind of curve in a little bit, give her a little bit of wiggle space there, but we also don't want it so open that she can pull back. I don't think that's going to be an issue, but, you know, I figure let's measure. Yeah, measure twice, cut once. Or as my grandpa used to say, I cut it and cut it and cut it, and it's still too short. Let's go measure a cow. And you can see what I did here, right over there. We have a couple of, what are they, pecan trees in there. Well, last time through, the sheep or the cows or both chewed them down, but they've actually recovered. Spring's here, they've actually opened up and starting to see a couple leaves, so I now have hot wire around the whole thing. Miss Cow, hang on, let's make sure she's in frame or you're going to miss this. Hi, Dolly. Hi, sweetie. Hi there. Can we measure you? Huh? Can we measure you? Hi, sweetheart. Hi. No. Hey, come here. Come here. Well, now you're off frame. Hang on. There we go. Oh, she's scratching her face. She's got a little rash on her face, unfortunately. So we've put some comfrey salve on it, and we'll see if that doesn't help. But hello, Miss Dolly. Hi there. Hi. All right, well, okay, next best thing. She stands right there. I can see roughly how high she is up on that post. Yeah, see, 15 inches is here. That seems a little low. I mean, that's even lower than their water. I might move that up a little bit. So her chest height is about 24 inches right there. Didn't like the taste of a tape measure, huh? Come here, sweetie. Hi. Oh, you girls are okay. Hi, Dolly. Come here. Come here. Look, 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 look. Dolly. Dolly. Hey, 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 hey. Miss. All right, well, plan B. When she was rubbing her face, I could see it was right. I thought she might even have left a little bit of dirt or whatever. She was right in here. Oh, yeah? Thought she was going to move for us. All right, so if we raise that bottom thing up to 24 inches, so she can reach across and eat out of that tray like we talked about, and we close it up I would think, because the top of her shoulders is at 2 feet. That way she could actually tip her head up, stand comfortably while we milk her, and then be able to put her head back down, but also not enough that she would be able to back out of the milking stanchion. So let's go back over there and take a look. '24 is there. 48 is there. Seems like a better plan to me. Sorry, I know it makes for bad recording having my back to the camera. So marking this side with 24. I mark the 48 just so we know where it is. All right, good girl. It's a good girl. So now these arms, when we attach these, hang on, Belle. See, she'll come in, and then we'll close her head in there and lock it in place. She'll be able to eat out of a trough right there, but we really only need one side to be able to pivot. So I could go ahead and mark this one and lock it in. I'm going to go ahead and put one screw in here. I'm going to anchor this in place. Then we can tinker with this side and see about the pivot. My concern is I don't want it, when it pivots out from the top, the bottom's going to swing this way. So I got to make sure that this isn't in the way. I don't think 8 inches would be too much going down that way, but yeah, that's what I was afraid of. See how it's pushing the side out? Let's raise that up to 6 inches. So that's at 16. 16 going from here to here. Same as over here, 16 to there. I'm holding my knee in just so I've got, so where I know it's going to pivot. Oh, plenty. Plenty, 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 plenty. Just going to lock this one in here. All right, what did I do wrong here? I'll tell you. I locked it in. Obviously we can unscrew it, not a big deal, but What I need to do so that she has a little more space for her neck is cut in a slot going in this way, down, and back out. Just, give her some head space there. All right, let's take a look at that. That really needs to be next. So I went from super hot, been out here sweltering away, making the dog lay in the shade because she wanted to play ball all afternoon, to a freeze warning tonight. So we determined her chest was about 24 inches tall. I'm putting these 4 inches wide between the boards, so there'll be a 4-inch gap. I'm just wondering how far in do we want to go here. So we go in an inch that way. Inch that way, so then that way. 7 inches wide. She's actually, her neck is a narrow profile. I don't want to make it uncomfortable though, because if she's not comfortable, this isn't going to go anywhere. But I don't want it so loose she can just pull out. However, I really need to go measure her neck. Just, what do you think? Belle's not sure about that. She's looking at me like, really, you need to go measure the cow again? We need to measure the cow again. We need to make sure it's right. Oh, but first a bone break. First a break? You need a break? Oh, now you can't pull me. Now you can't pull me over. This is one strong dog, I'm telling you what. I've cheated this in a little bit. This is 8 inches. It just looks awful wide. It was, I say I cheated it in. I actually moved it in a little bit to make it 8 inches wide here. I think that'll be okay if we have to, because once I put a... Away with your bird. Once I put the bolt in here, this one's not going to move, but if we needed to, we could cheat this in another inch or two if it's loose. I don't think it's going to be, but anyway. So, to the bolt. Yeah, I went through my piles of things in there. Found a galvanized bolt, grabbed a couple of washers, cotter pin, and it fits perfect. So, to do this, I went ahead and screwed this in temporarily, top and bottom, so that it holds it in place. Hi. Hi. Oh, you can help? Nope. Half inch. I think half inch. Bit. Whew. 5/8. 5/8. I already did a test hole over there on a scrap piece to make sure that bolt would fit. So, brace and bit, and let's do this. And the nice thing about this kind of drilling is you can push this up against your chest. Hold it nice and tight. Speed is not the objective here. If you've never seen a wood bit like this, it has a little tiny screw end in it, so it's actually pulling itself through the wood. So I'm not really putting much pressure on this end. I can feel it coming through the other end. I just don't want to push it too hard because I want a clean cut. I want to make it look nice, so I'm going to finish out going from the other side now. And it's through. Now, should just go right through. This is the rounded end. I'm obviously going to put that against Dolly. We don't want it sticking out, poking her or whatever. Nice, snug, firm fit. Washer, cotter pin. We are in business. In business, baby. I haven't figured out quite how we're going to lock that in, but see, when I run it all the way across, I can actually narrow this even further. So we'll just have to figure out how we want to lock it from that side once she's in here. But it also means, oops, that one's in, that one's in. I cut this piece, so this one, like I said, is going to go behind it. And just create that spot there so this can't get pulled out. All right, what I did, I put the piece behind here like I talked about so that this can slide inside of there. I'll figure out some kind of locking pin or something that we can put in here just to keep it close while Dolly's head is in there. So that piece behind, I screwed in from the backside in here towards the camera, and then I put a couple on the end too, because that will help make this thing more rigid. So now I'm going to go over, I'm going to cut a couple of angle pieces that will go down just to give it some more rigidity, because she's a big cow. And then we just need a little box here for her to munch on, and we're good. So I'm going to work on the cutting those pieces. You don't need to see me cut any more You don't need to see me cut any more boards. Belle wants me to throw the ball, or the bone in this case, and I'll be back. Okay, folks, I think we're there. What you didn't see me do, some scrap pieces of the 2x6 just to build a box. I'll bring you around so you can see it. Dolly will have her head in here. Just a scrap piece of particle board. Yeah, I know that'll have to be replaced, but it's what I've got handy. It's getting dark. I need this done tonight. So 2 pieces of 2x6 across the front, across the bottom, a couple of braces here underneath. Like I said, I'll bring you around so you can see it. And before I move you, 2 holes work. Walks through. She's got sweet feed or whatever right here to entice her to stick her head through. Close her in. If that's not tight enough, go right on through. So I'm pretty happy with this. Pretty solid. Yes, I can shake it, obviously, but hopefully she's not in there, doing the twist or anything like that. So let's bring you around here real quick. See that front side's just a little bit higher right there, because obviously when she eats, she's probably going to shove some of that hay or alfalfa or whatever right over the top. But anyway, that's it. Like I say, I'll put some dimensions in here so you have some idea of bill of materials and all that. And build time, I think total, I would say, maybe 3 hours if you don't include pulling that pile of nails out of all these boards. But use what you got on hand, right? Okay, so back off a little bit here. Belle, come here. Right here. Come here. Belle, come here. Belle, come here. Okay, sit. Oh, yeah, right there. Belle, come here. No, come here. There you go. Come on. No, we're not going to milk you. Sit. There we go. Okay, so Belle wanted me to remind you that if you need comfrey or best homemade deodorant out there, willow root rooting hormone, or Hori knives, make sure you visit renewedhomestead.com /shop, and make sure you give Belle a thumbs up. I mean, I don't know if I deserve a thumbs up, but she needs a thumbs up for sure. Make sure you're subscribed, and hope you are all doing well. We're praying for you. Please pray for us. God bless. We'll see you on the next video. Bye, everybody.